Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back with Supergirl. Jeremy Jordan last week, he had a phenomenal performance. The anger and the distraught that he had in his voice while telling the story of how he felt abandoned after his dad had ended up snapping. I don't know, the looks on his face, the almost brokenness in his voice. It was, I don't know, it was just great. I'm a little upset that I didn't exactly let Jeremy Jordan sing though, because out of the bunch of them, I feel personally he's the best singer in the cast. But that's just me. Also, Jean's dad, there was a lot of hinting throughout the episode. The first one I was too stupid to pick up on, but there were a lot of hinting that he basically had their version of dementia or Alzheimer's. That was a hard thing for me to watch just because of what I mentioned last episode, but it was well written and just it was very real, the way he was kind of, because he felt, or Jean thought he didn't have his dad for such a long time, that he was the last Green Martian, that all his family was dead, and then he finds his dad still alive after thinking him dead for so long. And, to get him back, just to see him slowly losing bits of himself, not being able to do anything about it, that's heartbreaking. When found out what actually happened with their dad, like how his dad was, he didn't just snap all of a sudden. His dad was always not the best of characters. He tried to run them off the road because Wen's mom was taking them to a domestic abuse center, and then threatened Wen's life, if the mother didn't leave, like if she didn't stay away from their son. Quite the father. And then there's Mon-El. The whole thing with Mon-El and the other world killer. Apparently the third world killer is in the future he was trapped in for a bit, or sent to. The world killer evolves to Blight, the villain that they had been having trouble with, Mon-El and Imra and Brainy, or Brainiac 5. That's the villain they had been dealing with at their time, and that was causing them trouble and cost a lot of people their lives. Also, they mentioned his costume, and Kara mentioned also that, she hinted that Wen could fix it, so here's hoping for that soon. I'm hoping this episode, or, soon, if not this episode. Hopefully, maybe next episode, I mean, we have, let's see, it was 15, we have 8 episodes to go, so they could push it further, as much as I don't want them to. So yeah, guys, that's basically, that's the gist of what happened last episode. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and go right into Supergirl.
Go, astronaut!
SpaceX.
Spacewalk?
Wait a minute. That doesn't count.
Why?
Because you shapeshifted, Dad.
Oh. Human games have so many rules. The cook, the thief, his wife and another.
Cheating again.
He's
Come
reading
on,
his
Dad.
mind.
No mind reading.
You keep accusing me of not following the rules. You are one to talk. My son used to wait for me to leave. And the moment I had gone, he would switch around the pieces on the Okrok board.
There's trace evidence that your cells have undergone a mitotal mutation that I've only seen in insects. It indicates metamorphosis. When you black out, your body seems to be changing on a cellular level.
Oh, she kind of does have an idea. What? Okay.
To her.
Oh, God.
Rain.
Oh, God.
I'm not an alien.
She does know.
I have done something amazing.
Did you find pestilence?
Sorry, that
I
entrance.
have done something okay. You.
His skill.
I have fixed
Your suit?
your old suit.
Yeah, boy. You're gonna crush him, though.
Hey, can I say it? Can I say it? Please.
Yes.
Suit up.
Hey! Wow.
You always said I cleaned up nicely.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, darling, you egotistical little son of a serial killer.
Kara. Oh! Jesus.
Get off me now.
Come on! Off of him!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You're not a mother. You're a monster. And I will make sure you never see Ruby again.
He's trying to get us. Whoa, is there... Whoa, what?
He has relied on his mind his entire life. First as a theologian and as a prisoner. It's what kept him alive for 300 years. The white Martians may have had him locked in a cage, but he was still free. This technology would make him reliant on me. It would strip him of the one thing the white Martians never could. His independence, his dignity. And I can face down our toughest adversaries without fear, but talking to my father about this. I don't want to take away more from him than is already lost. I just got him back. The practice of ta'akarik keeps him as close to the man I've always known. But I don't want to give that up.
My Uncle Jarrell used to say, the son becomes the father, and the father the son.
Oh my God, stop!
I needed you to see it for yourself.
All those people!
It's your fault.
It wasn't your fault. You weren't in control.
Kalanorian? On this planet? Why didn't you tell me about this?
We spoke about it.
We did no such thing.
Dad, you're forgetting.
No! I will get control of it. Is that to help me too?
It's to help quell your mind, Father, so that I may assist you in the practice of ta'akarik.
You would cage me?
Never.
For 300 years I lived in a cell. My son will not put me back in one!
No, whoa, no. Okay, I was wondering why they were showing these guys randomly. Oh, no.
Mon-El!
Oh. That was cool. Okay. And a girl, yeah.
No, you were trying to trick me.
I would never do that. I love you. All I want to do is protect you. As you have tried to protect me my entire life. Trust me, Father.
No!
Stay with him.
Come on, John. I haven't seen him in this in a while, actually, I don't think. I think last time was whenever the Legion episode, when they were fighting Rain.
John, the son becomes the father. Do it. I hurt you, all of you. I was so fearful of losing control of what's left of my life. I refused to accept what was happening. And it nearly cost me everything I hold dear. I hoped I would have been able to protect you all better.
You protect us all the time, Sean. Tonight was our turn.
You see those eggshells, they're broken up, a million pieces.
So in a way, I'm grateful that it happened. I'm just really sorry that it took a Martian attack. I'm sorry it was so brutal.
Yeah, well, the truth can be brutal. It's not news to me that I used to be a jerk. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For all of it. I didn't really grasp your perspective back then.
Yeah, but still, I shouldn't have hit you, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
Can we make an agreement?
Yes.
No more apologies.
Do you want to go be heroes?
Oh, that's cool, you know? Kinda like the way he's playing. Not that I dislike hers, I'm just saying. Okay, what? Hold up. Whoa, hold up. Pestilence? Found her. Sort of, I mean, area. Jesus Christ.
Pestilence.
I really need to work on not crying during shows. Well, I haven't cried during shows. I've teared up, gotten close, especially close during last week's episode, but this one got me. I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that. Man. Freaking hate Alzheimer's. Anyway. Okay, so Lena apparently had Sam for 3 days. I thought it had been longer. I don't know, because they made it seem like in last week's episode that it was. Maybe it was 3 days that she had been recording? I don't know. I have no idea. But she does know. Okay, I didn't think she knew. But I guess I thought she had an idea of what was wrong with Sam. Like, I thought she just thought that she had split personality. But it does seem with the testing that she doesn't. I don't know if she knew before. But she definitely knows now that Sam is Rain. And especially when she changed right in front of her. And she was able to record it. She was able to record and show Sam, who was just completely denying the whole time. Which is understandable because, I mean, you don't have recollection of... For one, you don't have recollection of any of this happening. Two, you are basically normal for the most part. Like, except for those moments where, you know, a bullet doesn't pierce her skin. She doesn't get hurt. She doesn't burn her hand in the boiling water, and she lifted that the beam off of Ruby in the very first episode, I think is what it was. So, apart from those instances, she doesn't really had. I guess I don't know. I feel like part of her should have kind of known just because of those instances. But it's just a hard thing to grasp. Inklings of superpowers is one thing, but then knowing that you become this horrible version, this horrible person that is nothing like you, hurting and killing people, beating Supergirl, just doing like all of these things that have been reported already, it's hard thing to grasp. So I understand her reluctance to believe Lena, but when she saw, like, for herself what she was doing and that she was Rain, she lost it, and understandably so. I mean, just that realization, knowing what you've done, it can't be easy, and that she could be putting Ruby in danger. That's even worse. Ruby's everything to her. So, of course, the idea that she could possibly hurt or kill Ruby, it's not okay. Obviously, it's just she's not gonna let that happen. Now she's adamant to be released. Before, she was wanting to Lena to just let her go, and she said a kind of a horrible thing to her, but in understandable rage and anger and frustration. She wanted to be let go, and Lena's keeping her from her daughter. So, but she wanted her out, so she basically sticks Lena with the rest of the Luthor family, saying, ask Luthor, they'll call you a monster. I think what she said, right? Call you a villain. Now she tells Lena, don't tell me where Ruby is. Don't let me go until I'm cured. So yeah, it's definitely eating her up, but hopefully, I don't know. I don't think Lena's going to find a cure, because, the show is not going to allow that. But I'm hoping that I hope Sam I hope she's able to get rid of Rain, because I don't want her to die. I don't want her to be taken maybe to the Phantom Zone or whatever. I don't want any of that to happen, because Ruby, I want her to be able to stay with Ruby. If they end up taking her away, killing her, that's gonna be hard. Mon-El's gotten to the point where he was actually teaching Kara. I mean, granted, it was for the cape tricks, but he was teaching her technique and stuff, and kind of he was fighting. He was kind of teaching her fighting steps as well, their technique. So it was kind of cool seeing where he is now from what he started as. He was definitely a punk who didn't really want to train, didn't really want to do anything, didn't want to be a hero, and then here he is now. He's much more mature, and he also seems very attentive. He has more attention to detail, deductive, because he pointed out, he was when they were watching the holographic feed or whatever exactly it was, how he described that basically Rain was playing with her food. What he was analyzing, he was looking at it, he's like, she's playing with her food. Just like deductions like that and analyzes like that, it's very different from Mon-El last year. He's just grown so much, and I appreciate, because it's been 4 years for him. So I do appreciate just like how much he's grown, and I like it a lot. It's cool seeing him in this kind of light. It's very interesting. Their cape is Kryptonian meta material. Because last time I remember first episode of season 1 when Wynn was working on the design for Kara's costume. I was pretty sure he made the cape. Did she have the fabric? Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was very interesting that it's just Mon-El mentioned that, you know, they studied the design of her cape for his, and that it was Kryptonian metamaterial, and then he stated it was Kryptonian metamaterial, and, you know, I don't know, I just always thought that Wen had made the cape for her, so, and it is interesting, the costume hasn't torn, so I guess he just made it out of the material that she brought from where she lived. I don't know, because at first it wasn't, but maybe she thought that this material would be better. I don't know. Now, okay, so when Lena basically forced Sam to snap, when she became Rain and Sam was in her mind, I think that place that she was at in her mind, is that always where she goes? Because it seemed like she never been there before. Like, what was that about? Like, was that the first time that she was kind of taken there? Like, that her mind sort of went to that place while Rain took over? Or does she go there every time she changes, and then, you know, she forgets every time? I don't know. I'm just curious about this whole thing, like the whole thing with Rain. Like, what causes this? I know they basically engineer. Well, I don't know about engineer, but they did something to the baby that at the end of season 2 that they showed them sending to Earth. But I'm just curious as to like why she's human at times, but then she can change to a sort of Kryptonian. But she's different. It's like kryptonite doesn't affect her nearly as much as normal Kryptonians, and she doesn't need yellow sunlight, to be, you know, a powered up Kryptonian. So there's just these things are just, it's just weird. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. Like, what is Rain? Like, she's not a normal Kryptonian. And then there's the other world killers, for one. They're like Pestilence and Purity. Their powers are different. What the people on Krypton that made Rain, did they make the other world killers, or did other planets do that? And they're kind of like this huge group, this huge this circle, working together for a world killer group thing. Just, I don't know, because, you know, Purity's powers are nothing like Rain's, apart from the flying and the super strength. But she has like sound powers, but at the same time, like it's sound powers, but she's also like it makes it difficult for people to move. Maybe it's just like the amount of force from, maybe like it affects their brain. They're like, I don't know, to where they kind of freeze up or makes it hard for them to move. I'm getting off topic. So with Mon-El's dad, Mi'urn, I think his name is Martin Holland. Mi'urn? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mi'urn. Jean's dad. He was doing this. I forgot what they call it, but the prayer that he was doing, he takes his memories and he moves them away from like what's like the dying part of his memory already. Like, so he moves it to what's still healthy, which is cool, which is a really cool idea. It you know, prolongs the loss of his memories, so he can keep them for a little bit longer. But it's the way how it was happening. It was also just, it was affecting everybody. Like he was so angry and just terrified of what's going on with him, of him losing his memories and like what he's going through, that while he was moving his memories, it's bleeding out, like anger and the frustration is bleeding out and affecting those around him. And if there's a psychic, they can be further and still be affected. But it's just crazy that the process of trying to protect his memories is also hurting people around him. The part where Jean tells his dad that he's gonna have to be. Okay, well, John's talking to Alex and Kara about using the tech to limit this from happening, to stop this from happening, really, to prevent it. There you go. That's what I was trying to find. To prevent the bleeding effect from happening. You use that tech, but it would be stripping his dad of his independence and his dignity, and like just the thing that he held onto since while he was captive with the White Martians. And I just can't imagine just the heartbreak John was going through, just thinking about having to do that before he actually did it. Just like he couldn't do it, it was just so difficult. And then when he actually went to confront his dad about it and to convince him to let him help him to put the device on him, that whole process was just painful to see. It was painful to watch. It was painful to feel. And that's kind of what, not this particular, but it was starting to get to me, how Jean's dad was reacting. What really had gotten me was when Jean was finally starting to get to his dad, and then, his dad lets him put it on him. And, and then Jean hugs him and starts to cry. And that moment that really got me. But then also the following part, related to it, where he was apologizing to everybody and explaining how angry and terrified he was of just losing everything that was happening, like that he had left of his family. I mean, apart from John, like, his granddaughters, his daughter-in-law, and just the rest of his family on Mars, and just all the Green Martians, just all those memories. He's terrified of losing them. It was difficult for me to watch. So it's just memories. So away from that. So the device that earlier, whenever I saw the device with the green light on Sam, I was thinking if it was kryptonite. I was wondering if it was kryptonite, and it turns out it was. But it since Sam's DNA is only changes when she becomes Rain, so she's not like constantly Kryptonian. When she did change to Rain, it affected her, so it knocked her out and brought her back down it knocked her down so that she was able to, or it knocked her out so she was able to become Sam again. Which is a kind of interesting device. I wonder if she just keeps that, if that would be like a decent temporary fix, so that maybe she could visit Ruby. I don't know. That probably wouldn't be safe or smart, but I hate that she's having to keep herself from her daughter. The device is very interesting, but since Sam had changed to Rain, apparently for the first time since Lena had decided to help Sam, she was able to get some of Rain's DNA. So that's kind of hopeful. Maybe she can be able to separate that with all this high tech technology she has in medical technology. Lena's a very intelligent woman, so maybe she'll be able to target that specific DNA and maybe pull it from Sam. Because they seem to have put something in Sam when she was a baby, before she was sent off to Earth. So maybe that's what they'll be pulling out of her. I don't know. Okay, so I knew the ring it's different. It seems to be different from in different iterations. I know the ring helps you fly, but in here what it also can do in certain instances or in certain iterations, helps you travel through time. Obviously, it doesn't do that here, or else they would have been able to just come to this time without the ship. Basically, I think that's all I knew that I knew that it did. But in here, it seems to be a shield from psychic attacks, some psychic abilities. So that's pretty cool. That the ring, it's just that the ring can shield you from things like that. That's very helpful in those instances. But then you would think, did she not have a ring whenever she went to Emra? Sorry, did Emra not have a ring whenever her Sai Livewire and Kara went to that other planet, did she not have the ring on her? Because Sai attacked her whenever she got hurt or something. I don't know exactly why Sai did that, but she sent a burst of psychic energy at her and it affected Emra. So did she not have her ring on her, or was it just too focused? I don't know. I don't know. But either way, maybe she didn't have the ring because she didn't need to fly. So I don't know. But I feel like she should have known that with someone like Sai, she would have brought the ring along. But I don't know. Maybe it was just writing. I don't know. Maybe it's something they just implemented recently. But anyway, either way, it's a cool idea. All right, one last thing I want to mention is not really anything like important necessarily, but I just thought it was really cool when one of the DEO people shot a missile or a rocket or whatever, and Mon-El like just uses his cape to snag it and pulls it in, and then I don't know if he did that, like, you know, put his arms around it or just covered his cape or whatever. Either way, he brought it in and kept it from hurting anybody. He took the explosion. I just thought that was a really cool little bit right there where he lashes out, grabs it, and just tugs it in. And then Kara is able to use her cape, snags one of the guys that escaped, one of the aliens that escaped, and is able to chuck him at one of the other guys and knocks out one of the aliens. I think that was going to hurt one of the DEO members. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Supergirl. God, this whole episode, Supergirl has just been fantastic this season. I didn't dislike second season, but this one I just feel, to me, is just so, the writing is just so much better, and I'm loving it for it. I'm worried for next season partially because of past experiences. For one, because Flash season 4, it to me has been, as a whole, been the weakest season of the Flash. And season 4 of Arrow, again, for me, and I think for most people, was the weakest season for Arrow. So I'm worried for Supergirl and kind of for Legends. I'm kind of worried that they're going to push the humor. I don't know. Legends can kind of do anything, really, and they can get away with it. Just because they're just so outlandish and just crazy already. I mean, they freaking ended it with a giant Bebo fight. A giant Bebo and Demon. So, but I don't know if they can really mess up that much. I think they have a pretty wide margin for error. But I'm just worried for Supergirl, because Supergirl isn't as, Supergirl's not crazy. Like, none of these shows are as crazy as Legends, where they can get away with crazy writing or just just out there moments. But I'm hoping whenever the season ends and it comes back that it doesn't hit that rut that every other show seems to have gotten or hit. But as far as this episode goes, I really enjoyed it. It was a great episode, and I can't wait till next week. And I hope, for one, the pestilence. Completely forgot about that. So at the very end, it seemed like it was going to be like a pretty nice ending, and then we see the effects of pestilence. So the world killer has to be nearby, or she just have like a wide range of power. Like, I don't know. But the point of the matter is that I think I'm hoping next week we're going to be able to take the world killer, or at least find her. Hoping for that next episode, and as well as more going in. I kind of want to see. I want more on Sam's condition, and maybe progressing with the cure for that. Just being able to separate Rain from Sam, pull it away from her, and get rid of it. But I don't see that. I don't see them being able to do that, just because we're gonna have to have the big season finale fight. So I don't know how it's gonna. I'm wondering. I want Lena to. I want Kara to find out, just because it. I don't know. I feel like she needs to find out, but I don't know how that's gonna go. But yeah, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. this episode with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and check out the channel. Hit that subscribe button. And until next week's episode, I'll see you guys later.